We are recording. Hello, I am an intern with the Remembering Benzie Oral History Project, here today interviewing Lucy Straubel during the quarantine of COVID-19. So, Lucy, could you please tell me your full name, your grade, and where you are from?
My name is Lucy Straubel, as you mentioned. I am a senior, and I am from Beulah, Michigan.
Awesome. So what kind of hobbies slash extracurriculars do you partake in?
Well, I'm really active in theater, and I was in NHS. Um, I did the Link crew, the Young Peace Builders, and then like outside of school, I really don't do much homework. I read occasionally, but not much.
Cool. So we'll kind of tie back into that a bit later. But when the virus was first coming in, when did you first realize how bad it actually was?
Well, probably like when schools were closing, not even just like in Michigan, just like around the country. Like, I mean, I knew it was bad because of like what happened in like other countries, but it didn't really like occur to me how bad until like we had to like stop going to school because it was so bad.
Do you think that we stopped school at an appropriate time, or do you think that we should have done it later or earlier?
I think I think it was a pretty good time. I know it was pretty like last minute, but I think we did it at a good time.
So how did like when the virus first came in, how did you personally change and how did your family change?
I think um it taught me to deal a lot with like the unknown because, like even like when it first started, like no one knew it was going to happen. So it really like helped me with that. And I think like my mom especially, like she's a nurse and I think that it really like changed her just like on like a more personal level since she has to like see everybody and test them and stuff.
Definitely.
Mhm.
How did your operations change, like how you did things?
I mean, not much changed. It just like online school, getting used to that was a big thing. It's weird just to like it's weird being alone and it's weird like not being able to like see your friends all the time, especially like just being like ripped out of like your the end of your senior year. So it took some getting used to, but
Yeah. Do you think that the education that you're currently receiving is decent? Do you think you're learning a lot?
I mean, yes and no. Like I think they're doing the best with what they can, but like me personally, I don't learn online very well. So like I don't think I'm learning like as much as I would be, but I know like the teachers are trying their best. It's just like
Right.
a me thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, kind of a big question, but what activities are you missing or have you already missed due to the virus?
Well, I mean, doing like our like the musical normally is a big thing that I missed, and like I wish we could have done it normal. I mean, we're gonna miss graduation. Um, and like uh, well when I yeah like graduation open houses all of these like senior things that everyone gets to do and just like I don't know like that last like week of school as a senior and just as anyone like that last week always like hits a little different and it's just like weird like knowing that like I'm never gonna like experience that ever again, so I really like honestly and truly miss school.
Yeah, definitely. Um, the big things like graduation and the musical, how did they change? What was different about them?
Well, with the musical, we only did one show and we could only do it for like close family members, which like I completely understand why we had to do that. And I'm glad we were safe, but like it really sucked. We put a lot of work into it and I wish that more people could have seen it. Graduation is being pushed back, but I mean, it could be virtual for all we know. And it's just like it would be nice to like know like what's going on, but can't always do that.
Yeah, definitely. As a senior, what is it like to be missing these activities, but also just like you said, missing the normal senior year?
It really like sucks because like generations like of people before us have gotten to experience these and like next year they probably will be able able to experience with like pretty normally, and it just like really really sucks that, like this is the year, and like we're just missing out on such a big thing that everyone else gets to experience.
Right. Yeah. So you also hosted a foreign exchange student.
Hmm.
How was that different from previous hosting years?
Well, it was different because, like, first and foremost, she had to leave earlier, which, like, I mean, I'm glad she's home and that she's safe, but it really would have been nice to, like, have her, like, into June so we could, like, do more, like, summer things. And it would have been, like, it's just, like, there was a lot of things we didn't get to do together because I couldn't take her places and we couldn't, like, leave the house. So I feel kind of bad because there's a lot of, like, experiences she missed out on that, like, most other foreign exchange students get to, like, experience when they're up here.
Yeah. But what have you done to keep touch on a day-to-day basis with friends and family?
Definitely the internet helps a lot. Um, yeah, like definitely like just like texting and like using like Snapchat and stuff. It really, really helps. And obviously, like it's not as good as like seeing them in person, but just I mean, even like having communication is better than nothing.
How often are you communicating with people?
I mean, I'd say daily with like my closest friends, just because like I think I would go crazy if I couldn't, like if I didn't have anyone to talk to besides like my parents for like a week. But it's just nice. It's nice that this happened in the age of technology, so that we're able to communicate and like see each other.
Definitely. Yeah. How do you think that the community as a whole has changed?
I almost think that this has kind of brought us together as a community, um, because like we really want everyone to be safe, um, and I think we're really trying to like protect everyone else. So I think the community has just become like a lot closer, just trying to like protect everyone and themselves.
Yeah, definitely. How have you personally changed?
I mean, I kind of mentioned it before, but definitely like I know how to deal with like uncertainty now and like ambiguity, and like I've kind of come to terms with the fact that like I can't control where my life is going like all the time. So that was a big thing that changed. And I'm definitely like appreciating life more and like my friends and family more because like I'm not like super afraid that like anyone I know is gonna catch it, like even though I know it's a possibility, but it really makes you like appreciate the time you have with people more.
Definitely. Yeah. What is your, another big question, what is your biggest fear concerning the virus?
Biggest fear? I, I think it's just that like I'm afraid that this is gonna take like years to go away. Like I'm just afraid that like what we're going through now is gonna be our new normal for like years, or even like just like the next like year or like year and a half. Um, like yeah, I'm just afraid that like we're not gonna go back to like what life was like before for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's a big thing too.
Hmm.
How do you think that that people, like normal citizens, can help to prevent that?
I mean, definitely staying home when you can. Wearing a mask is a big thing. I know a lot of people don't, especially a lot of like the touristy people, just from like working in like food service, but just like stay at home, go out only when you need to. I mean, social distance, it's really I don't think like we're being asked of a lot to stay safe. So,
Yeah. And you have gone back to work. Is that correct?
yeah, I have.
How is it different now than from back last summer even?
Well, like all like normally this time in May we'd be pretty busy, but I already know that we're slower and like obviously we're not doing like sit down. Like it's just to go. So like we're just like very slow for like a May when like people are already coming up. It's just weird to like get used to, but yeah, work has really changed. Just like yeah,
Do you think it's more difficult now, or do you think it's a bit easier?
I think it's more difficult to be honest. Like not only are like you normally working by yourself, like the whole front, But also you have to remember to like clean everything really well, and like you have to remember to like always like have a mask on and like to wash your hands like constantly all the time, and like wear gloves when you need to. There's just a lot more like cleaning that goes into like working now than working like last summer, and you just have to like be conscious of that fact.
Kind of a little bit off topic, but do people still tip as much when you're just doing delivery?
I think they tip more.
Well,
And
that's
I only think it's because of the quarantine though, like because of the situation. Because normally people don't tip on to-go orders, but I think that like because like we're working in food service, I think they're trying to like help us out by giving us more tips.
do you think that kind of plays into the community helping aspect of all coming together?
For sure. Yeah. They're definitely, I mean, I think they're definitely like trying to help us in like some way. I mean, just by like giving us more money, like anything helps. So
Now, there has been, a lot of talk, and you've probably seen it, but have you experienced any shortages of any like basic supplies like toilet paper or that sort of thing?
honestly, not really. My dad already kind of had a stockpile, which is a long story and unrelated to the quarantine, but he already had some. And my mom is pretty good at like rationing, so we've really haven't experienced. There was a shortage of like milk a couple weeks ago, but we're kind of back from that now, so not really.
So, back to your work, got a little bit off there, but how like have you had any fears arise out of working again?
The only thing that scares me is when people don't wear masks. Like I have to wear a mask, but like I mean, I still fear for myself and for like all the other customers. Just because like there's people who like don't want to wear masks for like a couple minutes while they're like ordering, which I mean like I get like if you like medically can't, but like there's a difference between like not wanting to and not being able to. And like I'm just scared that like someone's gonna like catch the fall from like their choices.
Right.
Hmm.
Now, kind of looping back to schooling, how what is it like? What is the online schooling like?
It's very the thing about it that gets me is like since we don't have in like we don't really have like in-person classes, there's a lot less motivation because like a lot of the homework like you print out for it. So it's definitely a lot weirder, and there's a lot less like motivation happening just because like there's not a consequence if you don't do it. So and there's not like a teacher to like really push you to do that. So
Right. Yeah. Have you personally been less motivated, or do you keep on it pretty good?
I mean, I'm definitely less motivated, but I'm still like doing my homework. Like it might take me longer than it would on like a normal school day, but like I'm still trying to like keep on top of everything as well as I can.
And now, kind of going into next year, what fears do you have about going into college?
I'm just really afraid that I'm not going to be able to like go to college for like the first semester, which sounds really kind of like low and like shallow and selfish, but like I don't know. Moving into college is like another one of those things that like everyone gets to experience, and like it'll just like really suck if that's like another thing that's like ripped away from me and like all of the class of 2020 really.
Right. Yeah. Now, were you surprised of how like quick the virus picked up?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was not. Like I don't know. I just like knew that like Americans wouldn't take it as serious as it is. Like and that sounds really bad, but like if you think about like everything that happened in like China and like how well they quarantined, like I just feel like America's not doing as good a job as like all the other countries did. So I knew that it was going to be worse here than it would be.
Hmm. And I mean, kind of like you already said, but other than wearing the mask and trying to stay home, what other factors uh, cause that quick progression in America?
I think Well, I know there's like some states down south that are already like reopening, which I mean obviously does not help anyone. Um, but yeah, I just think that like I think people who haven't experienced it firsthand aren't really considering it like a top threat right now. So I just don't think like they're as worried about it as they could be. So I think people just need to realize that like this could happen to anyone. So you should take it seriously.
Now, in quarantine, what have you been doing to keep your mind occupied, to stop yourself from going crazy?
I've been reading a lot more. It's nice to fall back into that. I've watched a lot of Netflix shows. Um, I've picked up some new hobbies like sewing, which is a weird hobby, but it takes a long time and it keeps your mind busy. So
Now, how do you get books for reading? Do you just order them online or?
yeah, I do a lot of ordering them, but I also just own a lot of books that I've never read before, so that helps.
Yeah. How what will it be like if you miss the chance to be able to reconvene with all your friends at the end of this due to the quarantine?
It's it's just really like I keep saying this, but it's just gonna like really suck. Like not only was like our senior year ripped away from us like right towards the end, but like we've been like basically alone, like with like just our families for like months and months. And like if I don't get to like see all my friends before I go to college, I feel like I'm never gonna be able to see all of them in like one place again, really. And I just feel like this is like the last chance to like make like a good like final memory. Like I don't want my last memory of my friends to be like the last day of school, like with the quarantine. So
Yeah. Can you describe for me a normal day for you, even if there is one?
I mean, normally, well, I guess it depends. Weekend or weekday?
Uh, both.
Okay. So normally on like the weekends, like I'll wake up at like 9 or something. I'll eat breakfast. And normally I just like any one of those things I mentioned that keeps me busy, I normally just do those. Sometimes I'll like take my dog for a walk or like go outside or like do some studying, but normally I'll just like read or like watch TV or something and until like 9 or 10 and then I go to bed. And then on weekdays, I mean, my morning starts the same. I wake up, eat breakfast, and then I normally try to do whatever homework I have at like noon. And then whenever I'm finished, I just like do whatever I want the rest of the day. So to keep me busy.
Right. So perhaps the biggest question of all, how has the coronavirus changed your life?
That is a big question. I think like first and foremost, um, like getting used to not leaving your house is definitely like a big change. And like spending more time with my family probably changed me for the better, honestly, just because I can like see them more and understand them. And then like even like working has changed. Like everything has like been thrown off balance and everything is different. So we're slowly making like a new normal, but like my life now compared to what it was in February, like nothing is the same, and it's just really it's hard to like adapt to and deal with in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I had a follow-up question, but I completely forgot. Hmm. Oh yeah. In any way, has the coronavirus had a positive impact on your life?
I think definitely like spending more time with my parents. We get along a lot better now, and I think I like understand them on like a deeper level. And also, like I mentioned, just me like growing and learning to like deal with like uncertainty and like what I like I have to be able to live with the fact that there's always going to be things that I can't control. And I think like the coronavirus has really helped me with that, just because like it's forced me to like accept that fact.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all that I have. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you'd like to?
I don't think so. No.
All right. Any questions for me?
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lucy. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
And I'm glad that you are a part of this history in the making.
Me too. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.